Number 2. Number 2 on my list is Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012. I actually got this game pretty recently, and I loved it right off the bat. Mostly because of its astonishing looks. I loved the graphics of this game. Not too realistic, but also not too, I don't know, cartoony. Also, the cars! Oh my god, the cars! So many supercars! Oh my god. This game has every car you could pretty much want. Everything from, I don't know, the starting Porsche 911 RS or whatever it's called, to the Bugatti Veyron Supersport, one of the fastest cars in the game. There's no specific storyline to this game, except for the fact that you're trying to become the most wanted on the streets of Fairhaven, I think, which is a city in this game. Maybe not in real life, I have no idea. To earn more cars, you beat these racers known as the Most Wanted. They're a group of elite racers with some of the best supercars around, everything ranging from the Alfa Romeo 8C concept to the fast, and I mean extremely fast, Koenigsegg Agera R. Agera? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Each car has its own specific set of races that it can do, and to be honest, that keeps it kind of mixed up. And each race gives you a different prize, or 2 prizes depending on where you finish at. The upgrades that you earn range from stuff that improves your acceleration and top speed on the road, to your survivability during police chases, and smashing stuff. Because that's cool. Also, all the cars that you get, you don't really need to pay for. You just find them, drive up to them, and press E, on the computer at least. And then you're free to drive wherever you want to, basically. Now, the one spot you need DLC to unlock is the airport, which I recommend getting if you own this game and don't have it yet, because the airport is an insanely fun place to go to. You must do it now! But even without that, the map is, without trying to copy myself over and over again, very, very, very cool. It's open world, so you can pretty much drive anywhere you want, with a few restrictions of course, with walls being in your way. There's also multiple paths you can go from one point in the game. After you get the Bugatti Supersport, you can either use that and own every single race you go through, or you can challenge yourself and use the other cars you own, mod them, make them faster, and see if you can take on the Most Wanted then. It's fun, because there's really, like I said, 2 ways you can go. It's your choice. There's a certain sense of accomplishment when you've fully modded a car, because you've beaten all the races for that car, you've unlocked all the parts, and, well, I don't know, they improve your car in multiple ways. Now we get to the problems with this game, which there are a few. For one thing, this game was made by the same people who made Burnout Paradise, so that means the crash system is basically the same, which could be good actually. I mean, Burnout Paradise had a pretty cool crash system where you could like multi-chain your crashes and stuff. But this is Need for Speed we're talking about here, and to be honest, it is quite sensitive system. Anything over 50 and you're wrecked, especially if it's oncoming, which lowers the speed to basically a tolerance of, like, I don't know, 20 miles per hour. I have no idea. Also, cop cars come out of nowhere in the pursuit chases. They just spawn in front of you sometimes, and you run straight into them and wreck your car. So unfair. And I must say that the easy drive system in this game, which allows you to change your mods basically on the fly, is somewhat annoying when you're trying to change them in a pursuit situation, because you're still moving and you have to pay attention to the menu and the road at the same time. It's just not working. However, all that being said, it's still a very cool game, and I mean, I don't know, it just keeps me interested when I come back to it over and over again. I've never gotten tired with this game, and I don't think I will for a while, until I get another one, possibly. I don't know. And I do know that some people say that this is actually one of the not as good Need for Speeds of the series, partly because it has no storyline. I have one friend or two that actually say that already. But personally, I don't really care about that at the moment, because it's just fun, with or without a storyline, and it's just an awesome game. I love all the sounds that the cars make, the muscle cars especially. They all sound correct, they all sound accurate, and they all sound epic when you're driving them. So this thing gets the number 2 spot on my top 5 favorite list for all those reasons, and probably some that I forgot because I don't know. You know what, let's just move on to the number 1 spot. Before we move on to my number 1 favorite racing game on this list, Let's recap on what we've seen already. Number 5, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed. Number 4, Trackmania. Number 3, Race Room Racing Experience. Number 2, Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012. My favorite game of the 5 I put on this list that I've played on the PC is one of the 2 games on this list that I've actually played on this channel and recorded for you guys. I stopped doing it like a while back, but it's time to put you out of your misery. Number 1. My number 1 favorite game is Driver San Fransisco. A fun game overall, and I really enjoyed playing it on the channel. It has an open map, much like Need for Speed Most Wanted does. It's based in San Francisco, hence the name, and actually copies the area pretty well. Now, unlike some of the other games, there is a story behind this one. In the game, you play as John Tanner, an undercover police officer, as you drive around the streets of San Francisco. The game starts out pretty normal. You go to an observation point to watch as a convoy takes a criminal that you've recently, like, caught, I guess, to prison, and apparently he's, like, been responsible for the deaths of multiple police officers and stuff like that. But, unfortunately, he has help from a girl with a rocket launcher that, like, hijacks a news helicopter, and he somehow breaks free, and then you have to chase him, and then basically what happens is you get hit by a truck. So, what happens following that is you're put in a coma, but you don't really know it. And in this state, you can shift between cars. So basically what happens is, you kind of, I don't want to say jump out of your car because that's not really what happens, but you exit your car, not physically, and shift into somebody else's body, sort of. Coincidentally, the passenger, if there is one, can't tell that you shifted, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, you hijack vehicles by taking control of the person who's driving. Yep, that pretty much sums that up. And some of the challenges are actually based on this whole shifting concept, where you have to change between vehicles, to drive underneath trucks to disable bombs, or shift around town to, I don't know, change into a fire truck and put out fires that are on tanker trucks while they're moving. The challenges are quite creative in some respects, and there are 2 types of challenges. Challenges that affect the storyline, or make it progress in other words, and challenges that just unlock cars and stuff. Now, as you complete challenges, you unlock more and more of San Francisco to drive through. And once you unlock it all, it's actually pretty fun to drive around corners really fast in drifting cars. And my god, speaking of cars, there are a lot to choose from. There are a lot of different makers in this game, and it's not just cars either. You can drive trucks, semi-trucks, all over the map. Though they're slow, so I don't really take to them that much. Still, pretty fun to use every now and then. Anyways, once John gets the hang of shifting, he starts to implement it with his sort of daily work of, like, busting speeders and stuff like that. And it all runs smoothly as basically the storyline unfolds, and you find out who the assassin was that shot the rocket launcher from the news helicopter, and try to stop the main villain, who's named Jericho. I don't know either. Now, power-ups, or upgrades, I guess I should say. There are only really 2 that you get, and they stick with you the entire time. You can hold down the Alt button on the keyboard when you're playing on a computer to charge up a RAM, which uses a power bar, I guess, uses a power. And then when you release the Alt key, you go flying forward for a short distance, which actually helps a lot with cornering and taking down speeders when you're in police vehicles. When you hold down control, however, you use power to activate a boost. Not a nitrous boost, just a boost. It makes you accelerate faster, and yeah, that's pretty much what boost always does. Now, currency in this game is kind of different. It's called willpower, and I'm not sure if that's being literal or just something made up creatively. But you use it to purchase vehicles, and sometimes you need quite a lot of it to purchase certain vehicles as you get farther and farther in the game. Willpower is also used to purchase upgrades and different garages, which also unlock vehicles in the game. Control-wise, this game is kind of hard to play. I mean, the cars drift easily, and I mean a lot of them do, especially the rally-like cars, but it's kind of easy to get used to after a while. You just have to use them kind of gently. Now, unlike in Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, there is no real crash mechanic, so when you crash into another car, you don't get, like, stopped and you have to watch this whole sort of short cutscene thing. You just crash, and there's physical damage on your car. It's not exactly what you call realistic looking, but it's still pretty detailed. Now, each car has a certain amount of toughness, acceleration, and top speed. These are the rankings you see when you browsing cars. Faster cars tend to have greater top speed, greater acceleration, but low armor, or toughness, as I should say. And heavier trucks and slower vehicles in general have huge amounts of armor, but obviously lowered speed and lowered acceleration. So it's really your pick. There are some vehicles that are very well balanced in between, usually like more normal road-going cars. This is also one of the few racing games or driving games that I've played that has a boss fight in it, or a final boss fight in it, I should say. I won't give anything away about it because I don't want to ruin the game if you choose to get it, or have it, or haven't gotten to the final boss yet, but I must admit, that's one of the few things I don't like. It is a very hard boss fight, and once you start it, you cannot use the adventure, free roam, whatever you want to call it, mode, until you beat it, so that's annoying, to be honest. Another slightly annoying factor is that the cops somehow stick on your tail no matter what car you're in, no matter how fast it is. They're always there, just directly behind you somehow. Even when you boost, you can't get away from them. You have to outmaneuver them, and that's not necessarily a bad thing if the cars didn't slide everywhere. So it can be quite tiresome after a while, but it's still very fun in almost every aspect. And I mean, sure, sometimes there is a glitch where like a truck or a car spawns in incorrectly, and like slaps you halfway across the map. But honestly, it happens so few times, it's actually quite funny when it does happen. The diversity of the vehicles, I know I already mentioned cars, but the diversity in general of all the vehicles, it's also really cool, because I mean, like I said, you can select anything from a sports car, to a supercar, to a semi-truck, and all of them have different characteristics, all of them have different attributes, and they're all awesome. I really do love the amount of cars they put in this game. And to finish it all up, to be honest, the sense of progression in this game is handled really well, because as you unlock more areas of San Francisco, you unlock cars that come with the area. You'll see them on the streets, and as you unlock more and more places, obviously the cars become more exotic, and just look better in general. So that wraps up my top 5 list of my favorite driving games, with Driver San Francisco taking the #1 spot. Hey guys, Nicholas Shadow 123 here again, and that was my top 5 favorite driving games that I've played on the PC. Now, I will be doing another one later, possibly, of my top 5 favorite shooter games. I just wanted to separate them out because I didn't want to do a top 5 games in general, because that would have gone on forever. So yeah, that will be coming out sometime in the future. I don't know when, but I have the other file ready. This one's the reverse, basically. I did the videos already for the other one, and that's all set to go. I just need narrations for that one. For this driver game, I did the voice, no, not the voice, the narration first, and then I did the videos, or I'm going to do the videos, because I haven't done them as such when I'm recording this. So, thank you so much for watching. This is Shadow123 signing off, and I thank you so much for the 175 subscribers on YouTube. I really do appreciate it, and it's actually now 180 subscribers, last I checked, very recently. So, yes, thank you so much. See ya later.